Do you want your project presentation skills to improve? Then you need to work on your confidence. Now, what do I mean by this? You need to be able to make eye contact with the whole audience. No looking at your shoes or the back wall. Remember to stand tall, shoulders back, and stand still. No fidgeting or swaying. Look and sound enthusiastic and use a loud voice so everyone in the audience can hear you. Now, does this sound hard or even impossible? Well, you can do it. It just takes practice. Yes, lots and lots of practice in front of the mirror and your family. You can even video yourself and work on improving your performance. You must know what you're going to say. Never ever read from a sheet. It's boring and you'll have no eye contact and your audience will very quickly lose their concentration. But if you want, you can use palm cards if you need reminders. Now below, there are 6 examples of palm cards that a child used for a dinosaur talk. In the first palm card, this child wrote, "Welcome, lived, and habitat." So it reminded the child that they needed to welcome the audience, talk about when the dinosaurs lived, and describe the habitat that they lived in. The second palm card reminded the child to talk about the different types of dinosaurs. On palm cards 3, 4, and 5, it reminded the child which dinosaurs they were going to talk about and in which order. And palm card 6 reminded the child of how they were going to end their talk. Ruled world, asteroid, extinction, and fossils. Now, can you see that there are no sentences on those palm cards? Only keywords. If you write a sentence on your palm card, you're going to read it, and then you're going to have no eye contact. So no sentences, only keywords. Right, making your project presentation more interesting. What can we do so that we don't send the audience to sleep? Well, we could make a project chart. Now this must look good. This is a great example of a project chart. Lots of different types of things that children can open up and read and pull out, and there's pictures. The text is really neat because they've done it on a computer. It's colourful, and they've used a really great colour for the background. A white chart at the back of all of these little brochures that they've made wouldn't look very interesting. Now this is a project chart by a younger child. Can you see the pencil guidelines this child has used to keep their writing straight and neat? This is very, very important. Some more examples. Have a look at the borders, special titles, ruled lines, neat printing, lots of use of colour and pictures, not too much written information, and they all look interesting. You can make a model of your presentation subject to make your talk more interesting. Now, a little preschooler has used a Play-Doh forest when he was talking about rainforest, whereas an older child has used a foam ball, paint, pipe cleaners and pom-poms to make a model of the Earth's core. Can you notice how all the parts are neatly labelled? A healthy veggie man would be perfect to illustrate a talk on healthy eating. Now, kids love to make dioramas, and what a great way to illustrate your presentation subject. All you need are some boxes and some craft materials. It's really important that you paint the background in the box before you start adding anything into your project. Think creatively when planning your project. Here are some examples of ideas for a history project. You can make a crown or a helmet, a great diorama, a chart, or even models of the people that you might be talking about. Some more examples on how to make a space project more interesting. Now, this is a great diorama showing the layers of the Earth's atmosphere. If you've got costumes at home, they can dress up. Otherwise, you can make costumes really easily by using black rubbish bags, a helmet, and some alfoil. Your child can use their Lego or cardboard to make a model. And foam balls are fantastic for 3D charts and 3D models. Some interesting ways to liven up boring book reviews. You could make a diorama. Or you could speak as the character from a book. See the little girl's face through that hole in the chart? You could retell the story on a felt board or paint a t-shirt. Focus on key events or characters from the book. Now, I want you to look closely at this project. There's some really great things about it and some bad things about it. The good thing about this project is it's a very creative way to present a project. But the poor thing about it is that it looks messy and rushed. Now, this little girl could have improved her project by using a ruler and drawing guidelines. She needed to write neatly in pencil first and try to keep the letters the same size. The title, it needs to be straight, the same size letters. Cut out letters would work beautifully on this chart. A border around the outside, and the yellow and orange boxes need to be cut straight. Now your child may decide to use a PowerPoint presentation. They need to make sure that it's interesting. Not too many words. Use colourful pictures. Don't use fancy fonts that are hard to read. Keep it short and to the point. Talk about your slides and don't just read them, because you still need to make eye contact with your audience. Now, the two biggest problems that kids have with PowerPoint presentations are that often they don't edit their work. So it's full of spelling, punctuation, and grammar mistakes. And they don't practice giving the presentation with the PowerPoint. They need to do this because if they don't, they're just going to read off the computer screen and they will lose marks. Use your artistic skills to make your projects look appealing. If you are talking about something you do, dress up in your uniform or costume and bring in the equipment you use. Try to make your presentation interactive. Ask the audience to participate if you can. This works really well with science experiments. Oh, and one last thing. Time management is important. Don't start your project the night before it is due. Remember to be confident, use your imagination and creativity, and practice.